everybody. I just want to welcome you back to Mr. Cast Iron. It's Mike here. We're running solo today by ourselves. Teresa's kind of not feeling real good, so she's a little under the weather. So you guys are going to have to bear with me because you got two mics in the house tonight. So we've been looking forward to getting this fella on the screen with us and kind of chatting with him. So let me get him on here and we'll see what we can come up with. How about that? The
Mike.
dude abides, man. What's going on?
Mike, I will always be Mike number 2 when it comes to you.
No, man, you're always number 1 in my book, brother. How you been doing, man?
I have been doing very well. Looking forward to this for a couple weeks now. So
yeah.
I'm very honored to be on your show.
Yeah, good deal, man. I certainly appreciate that. What do you think of that background I pulled up there for you?
I loved it. The great state of Idaho.
Where are you at out in that area? Is it Twin Falls or I forget where you're at?
No, but I love Twin Falls. Twin Falls is awesome. I am just west of Boise, Idaho, about 20 miles, a little town called Star. Maybe it's only 15 miles, but yeah, just a little town called Star and about 3,000 people.
Yeah, cool.
Been here since 96.
I used to stop at a truck stop out in Boise years ago, and of course, you know, Skillet sung about it, said it was 8 o'clock in Boise,
Idaho. Yeah. And the rumor is the other song that he had where he talks about going straight down Highway 44, it's rumored to be after our State Street because from what I understand, now it's just a rumor, that he wrote the two songs at the same time.
Oh, wow. That's
so I don't know.
Could be. I mean, that's my favorite band, all-time band. I've seen them, oh gosh, I think 7 times. And I look into different things, you know, some of the history behind Skillet, but I don't remember hearing that about 44, but, you know, it's a good possibility. I have to, hopefully one of these days, run across something. I watched a real good documentary, if I can spit that out, on Netflix one time. Of Skillet, and especially about the plane crash and everything. That was really interesting, man. And
the Van Zants.
Sure was. So, well, good deal, man. Good to have you here with us. Let me welcome a bunch of people here. Gosh, we got several of them. Can you see the chat in the top right, Mike?
I can. I just need to click on it.
Yeah, there's, my goodness, there's Stephen and Jacqueline. He's our moderator. Appreciate you, Stephen, always. Jamie Mack. Gosh, let's see. There's Craig behind the garage barbecue. Cooking. Let's see. I thought I seen. Yeah, cooking. No, wait a minute. I thought. What did I just see? Somebody else was here and they're gone now. Looks like Tennessee Buck Outdoors. Dutchie's here and gosh, good to see everybody, man. Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin is rocking on in the house with us. So
he's got a great channel.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I watch it every time he pops something up. So good deal. Well, guys, listen, we got Mike in the house, dude. The dude abides. If you guys have any questions for him, be sure and pop it in the chat room here. Put a couple question marks in front of it or put the @ sign or whatever. We can kind of spot that. And we'll try to get those up to Mike and see if we can kind of pick his brain a little bit. A friend of ours, Samantha Lewis, is there. Good to see you. So anyway, well, guys, we'll just move on here and try to get started, and we'll pick Mike's brain here for a little while and see what we can find out about him interesting. Are you the baby of the family? That's the first thing I want to know.
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the reason why I say that, usually most of the time Michaels are the baby of the family, and I've noticed.
Well, okay, so for me, my mom and dad split up when I was 3, so I was an only child from her first wedding, or first marriage, and then she remarried a guy, my stepdad, in 72, and they're still married, and so I have a sister and a brother through that. So technically, I guess I am the baby of the family from that broken family. I got to call out Steve from Dutchie Cooking, Das Dude.
Yeah.
That is my license plate. I just got an '06 Jetta TDI, and so I had license plate to say Das Dude on them.
That's cool. There's Billy with Strong's Adventure just popped in, so good to see Billy. He said, "Hey, it's Mike, and Teresa show." Well, Teresa's running. She's not feeling real well today, so she's setting out. She's going to just kind of leave it to us. Now, she's not just going to let us run free range. She's still back there in the back, so
She's got the thumb on Mike.
Yeah, she can't let me and Mike just be by ourselves here. Ain't no telling what'd happen. We might get shut down here. Who knows? But, so that's funny. Well, hey man, let's talk a little bit about YouTube for a minute, if you don't mind. What got you started doing YouTube videos?
Originally it was going to be a travel channel, The Dude's Travels, and I think there may still be a channel out there. I don't know. I haven't looked for a while. But I started doing the math. I'd ride on my motorcycle and go check out, a dam or something like that at lunch and film it and throw it up there. But and I started doing the math on, if I really wanted to travel, how much time and effort am I going to have to put into this? And I said, no, that ain't going to happen. I'll start cooking.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how it all started.
Yeah. Yeah. Cooking with this guy, Steven. That's who I missed a while ago. I thought I seen him there, and then he popped out on me. But anyway, good to have you with us, Steven. So, yeah, I mean, we do evolve. I started out in some other directions too, and ended up back in my love and my passion, which is cast iron, and I've got ideas of going places with it and doing things, and I'm starting to make some changes. Matter of fact, in the background, but. We can all do kind of evolve, I guess, from different things. So, but I think that would have been really cool, though. Especially if you would have got to, travel around and video stuff, and maybe, yeah, I know. But if you could have got monetized somehow, some way to, to get paid, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Somehow
that would be nice. I'm monetized, but 50 cents to $1 a day. Yeah. Ain't gonna pay the bills.
Yeah. It'd be cool if you could get some sponsorship, somebody that'd pay you to go check this out or review this place. Or
Mike, nobody wants this ugly mug to go check out your hotel. They always put me in the very back of the hotel and say, those back stairs back there, that's what you use.
I can't believe that, man. You're not like me. This is a face only a mother would love, right? Oh, that's funny. I got Margaret's making bake in the house with us. Good to have you, Miss Margaret, always. Jamie Mack, what is up, buddy? So, all right, man. If you guys have any questions for Mike, be sure and help us out here and pop them in the chat room, and we'll try to stay on top of it and see if we can pick his brain. But, you've been doing some interviews over the years, I've noticed, or a good while back, and then you've kind of slacked off a little bit. You care if we talk about that a minute?
Yeah, absolutely. Slacked off. I love it.
You have slacked off, Slacker.
Yeah, well, I know. Yeah. I'm going to have that painted or tattooed on my forehead. Slacker.
Patrick's going to love that when he hears this. Slacker. Mike, the slacker dude.
Yeah. All I want to do is bowl and drink White Russians, man. I don't care about anything else.
I hear you. And cook, man. I know you love cooking. I watched you and your grandson yesterday doing those wings, and I thought, he just loves this stuff, and it is a lot of fun, isn't it?
That's an old video from about 1.5 years ago. I've been kind of going back through my older videos, and now that because I'm totally revamping my outdoor, having a patio put in. I'm going to have an actual kitchen built outside, and so I still do the one video a week, but I swear I'll get to your question, right? So I still have to keep things moving, right? And shorts suck for me, but I still do them. So I thought I'm just going to go back, clean up some old videos, and throw them out there, right? And that was one of them. It was one of my favorites. So, but to kind of get around to what you were saying, with the whole slacker thing, where's my permanent marker? I need to write that down.
Yeah, don't forget that. I'll text that to you later in tomorrow and say, hey, I appreciate you being on the show, slacker.
Yeah. So, with my wife's mother and father having some health issues, we had to spend a lot of time in eastern Idaho. Oh, looks like did I freeze? Am I
No,
still
you're
here?
good, man. Yeah,
Okay.
you're still rocking on.
Yeah, so I had to start rescheduling guests, and it just became to the point it was just like we were going there like every other week, and I thought, I'm just going to put the show on hiatus until everything outside is done,
Yeah,
and then restart. And
yeah,
so that's what's going on with it.
yeah. Well, people in the chat room and watching this, they don't realize how tight this was for me. I thought we were going to have to reschedule this, and I know that feeling, man. I know when you have to reschedule guests, it's really, it kind of puts a little pressure on you, especially
Yeah.
if you want to try to fill that slot. And I had a guy cancel. Matter of fact, and you were gracious enough to fill this slot for me, and I certainly appreciate that
Yeah.
because it is tough. And of course, my work schedule right now, if it hadn't been for my nephew helping me out, I probably would have had to reschedule this till tomorrow when it rains. Hopefully, if it does rain, rains us out. But we made it just by the skin of our teeth, maybe less than an hour, and able to get everything set up and get our audio and video going. We had a few issues, but we worked through that. But yeah, there's a lot to it. There's a lot in the background to do, and you've got to reach out to people and stay in contact with them and make sure they're able to to be there on that time slot or whatever. So it's always a challenge, isn't it?
It is, and and for me, like, so I had to cancel, and I felt so bad, but I was able to reschedule, and then Carrie was my last guest from VA Chick Outdoor,
Yeah.
and I had to cancel her, and I felt so bad about it, because she kept saying, "I'm so excited to be on," and I've been talking to other people, and they're giving me pointers and that how to be on the show and just kind of chill out, and I felt so bad, but she was cool enough, and so I had a couple other guests in the pipeline, and I just reached out to them in mass and said, "Guys, I'm sorry. I just have too much going on. We'll pick you up on the other side." And
Yeah.
so, and people have lives, and and
Right.
they're adjusting their lives around you,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so
Well, we both got a good prospect here. Looks like Fred, we'd have
rock
to
on, Fred.
we'll get you on, Fred, if you want on. Either me or Mike, either one. We'll be happy to have you on there, man.
The race is on.
Yeah. Here's my buddy right here, and I just want you to see, you just got to see. Can you feel the love? I mean, really, can you feel the love, Mike?
I can, yes, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of the same characters that hang out on my show hang out
Yeah.
on yours.
Yeah, Billy.
Yeah,
Hey, I've been after him for 6 months to come on my show, and he won't do it. So I guess I'm gonna have to email Rhonda or something. But anyway, you know how that goes. But so, hey, when did you start your channel, Mike?
I'm coming up on year 2. I think my first video was June 17th, 2019. And we filmed our first video 2 months prior. And I just sat on that thing and sat on it, just to get everything perfect. And I just, at the last second, I kept saying, I'm going to go out 4th of July to be it. And one day I just got a wild hair and said, screw it. Oh, look who just showed up.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh,
Good to have you, Patrick. Be careful, man. Don't be driving and listening to us. You're liable to have a wreck, man.
yeah, especially since you drive on the wrong side of the road already.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh,
I got a
man.
funny story about that.
Yeah.
So we went over to my sister's house, Mrs. Dude and I needed to talk to Patrick anyways about because he edits my videos for me. He does a great job, by the way. I love his editing style. And I needed to talk to him, so I call him up on my phone, and my niece is sitting there talking. We made a real quick talk, and I told my niece, that Patrick's car was in the shop? And she's like, no. And Patrick's listening in on this whole thing. I go, yeah, they installed a steering wheel on the wrong side of the car. So he had to get it fixed. And the look on her face is like, what? Wrong side? It was classic. And Patrick's like, don't listen to him.
Yeah. Yeah, Miss Margaret said life happens, and that's no doubt. Dutchie says folks don't realize how much effort and time goes into YouTube. Boy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Now, you made a statement there that Patrick is doing a lot of your editing. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? You've recently just started doing that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Patrick and I have a very close relationship. We talk all the time. And so one day I sent him through Dropbox a copy of my video, and I said, hey, I'd really like an honest opinion. And he replies back, yeah, I like it, but can I tinker with it? I go for it. And he came back with a video, and I said, I love it. Can I use it? And he goes, absolutely. Got any others? And I said, yeah. So, he does my shorts for me and my main videos. I edit the older videos while I'm doing those. That won't be much longer. But yeah, I just film what I have and say, here you go. And it's very rare that I'll have to run it through my own editor and add something. He's spot on with it. He knows what I want and produces, and it's great. And I've told him, hey, if you ever get sick of this, just tell me, and he's agreed. He goes, I will tell you.
Yeah, he could make it a little side hustle on that if he wanted to, because I would use him myself. Now, did you guys start this? You guys did a collab together. I remember watching a video where you guys collabed together on one. Is that when you started out, or?
No, no. And I'm trying to remember the video that I did it for, because he's done the last month and a half. Gosh, I can't remember it. But no, one day I just said, hey, will you take a look at this? Because I wasn't feeling confident. I think it was the Seattle dog one. And I just wasn't feeling confident with my cut. And so I just asked him to take a look at it. And it just kind of grew from there.
Yeah.
And he loves editing. He and I were talking. He and I had this crazy conversation Friday night via text. And, and he just told me he loves editing. And he's a natural at it. And I couldn't be more happy with what he does.
Yeah. Yeah, he does a good job. No doubt about it. Well, a couple quick questions I wanted to get answered too. Are you going to get back to doing live interviews, or are you kind of
yes.
That, you going to do that?
Yep. So the patio goes in this week, and it'll be a roofed patio. And then I have somebody making a bid on making me a bar. And so I can take a couple of pieces of my old equipment and have the bar or the cooking station on the bar built around, like my Cuisinart 360 grill, have that built into the bar. And as soon as that's done, I have a webcam here. I have two others. I'll have those put up inside. I've got to, of course, still add electricity to it, unless I want to have extension cords running everywhere.
Yeah.
And once that's done, which I'm hoping will be the middle of June, it keeps getting pushed back though. Once that's done, then I will restart the show.
Yeah, cool. Couple people I want to acknowledge here. Bud's Backyard's here. Grumpy old Gringo. Little Eric, I forgot to mention him a while ago, but he's here. He said he can't stay long. He's got a lot of schoolwork, so appreciate
He's a great
being
kid.
Here. Yeah, I love him. Sure do. He texts me, or not texts me, but sends me messages or emails all the time, and we try to stay in contact with him and certainly watch all of his videos. But anyway, if I hadn't acknowledged anybody in here, we certainly apologize, but we welcome you to the show, and we'll try to move on here a little bit with Mike. Now, you had a little problem with your kitchen, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I used to have a pop-up awning, and I loved that thing. It was just perfect for what I wanted to do. And we had a windstorm, and it just blew the heck out of it. So I was able to fix it. And then we had this freak snowstorm, and the night before, I went out and I scraped it off, got up to go to work the next day because I work from home, and I noticed, there's some snow on there, no biggie. And I had a meeting, and by 11 o'clock, I'm at the very end of this meeting, and I hear this big crash, and I turn around and look, and there's my awning just in all bent to pieces, yeah. Man. There was no saving it, and I'm like, oh man, that's nuts. So
yeah, I seen that. I think you did like a little short or something. You did something. I remember seeing it, and I thought, wow. I know that stung. You put time and effort into something like that, and ain't nothing you can do about nature. So
Yep.
Little Eric says, bye, everyone. Have a fun live. Eric's out. Okay,
Bye,
buddy.
Eric.
Take care, man. Leanne Tolson's with us from Canada. So good to have Miss Leanne. But guys, if you have any questions for Mike, be sure and pop them in the chat room here. We're trying to get them up on the screen. So we know you cook a little bit in cast iron too, don't you?
Love cast iron. If I can get away with cast iron, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I just did a Cuban pulled pork. Well, I call it cast iron Cuban pulled pork casserole. And everything is done on the cast iron on the smoker, and that comes out Tuesday.
Yeah.
So if I can get away with it, I do it.
Yeah. We seen Teresa and I was watching one earlier. When I come in, I said I want to watch this one here because I hadn't seen it. But it was French fries and it looked like cheese whiz and some leftover.
Oh, the loaded fries, yeah.
Yeah. She said, "Oh, I like that. It looks good. I could eat that."
That was fun. That was really good.
Yeah. Well, she's on the mend. She's been, and I guess no one really knows in here very much either. But Teresa was hospitalized. She spent 3 nights in the hospital. She developed an infection after her gallbladder surgery, and so they got that under control, and she's back home. So just want to kind of update everybody. That's why she's not here with me. She's kind of sitting in a recliner in there trying to relax. So anyway, you guys can give her a hard time. She's here in the chat room too if you guys want to holler at her. So I think you're on here, aren't you, Teresa? I think I've seen her earlier. But anyway.
I think I saw her.
Yeah. Hey, how do you come up with your recipes, man? We all, have, I guess, insight and little honey holes where we come up. Either something we was raised cooking, or we watch somebody thought, hey, I can make that too, Or how do you come up with yours, Mike?
There's 2 places I go. One is just on Google. I get this feed on Google, right? And it'll come up like I'm just scrolling through right now, and here's grilled London broil, right? And I can't see it yet, but it's coming up. And I'll look at it and go, I think I'd change this, I'd change that. And, they did it in an air fryer. I think I'll do it, in cast iron. And then I go to all recipes as well. And if it's a 4 or above, then I will do the recipe. I have done a couple 3.5s, but usually 4 and above. And then I like to tweak them just a little bit. Anybody can follow a recipe and make it, but I prefer to tweak it just a little bit.
Well, Patrick don't seem to follow a recipe, though.
No, that guy doesn't. It's
no, you said everybody can, but I'm going to have to beg to differ with you, man. Hey,
He's the exception to the rule.
Yeah, let's talk about our little buddy for a minute. Dutchie calls him an SIM. You know what that stands for, don't you?
Sim?
Yeah, small Irish man.
Yeah. He's upside down too, which is really weird. I don't.
Yeah,
but he looks right side up.
He's way under the camera. He's always.
But Australia is like under the world, right? So if I'm looking at the world from, the moon, he's going to be standing upside down. I don't get it.
He probably has done that a time or two.
I'm sure he has. We're actually wanting to. Mrs. Dude and I want to go visit him next March, in Melbourne. Yeah. And we're saving up the cashola right now to make the trip out and visit him, and then go to Tasmania and kind of visit. Maybe hoping he'll take a week off and go do it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I had him on my show one time. We talked for a good little while. So let me get your side of the story. But he mentioned kind of how you guys, I hate to say met, but how you guys kind of figured some things out. You care to tell us a little bit about that?
It was weird. My mother's maiden name is Carol, and it's spelled the exact same way. And I got an email from him one day. I had no idea what his last name was, but I always knew that, for whatever reason, from the moment I started interacting with this guy, there was always, it felt natural, right? Yeah. So sitting there, I sent him an email back saying, hey, do you have any relatives in America? And he goes, no, but it's funny you mentioned that. My uncle, when he was in the Royal Navy and right after the war, went to New York and tried to find a cousin of his with the last name of Carroll who was a cop in New York. And I thought about that for a moment. I called my great aunt Madge, and she goes, "Yeah, your granddad did the same thing, except for he found him." I'm like, "You're kidding me?" In New York. And she said, "Yeah, this was at the beginning of the war. It was a cousin, and he claims that he found this cousin who was a cop in New York, and he just had coffee with him or whatever." Actually, two sides, because I remember my granddad saying he did not find him, but she said yes, he did find him. And so we started just kind of looking at things, and I know that my mom's side of the family has been in the States for several generations, but they came from Scotland, and of course Ireland before that, and his family's from Scotland. And so we decided to exchange pictures. And so I sent him some pictures of my granddad when he was in World War II on his ship. And we're both looking at these pictures. He sent me a picture of his dad, and they're like, "Oh my God, you can see the nose, the ears, the jaw. They look almost identical, these people do." It was crazy to look. It was like, when I was looking at his dad, it was like looking at a young picture of my granddad.
Wow. That's weird, ain't it? That's wild. I mean, it just, when that happens, I don't know if you know, but I had a DNA test done and found my son after 35 years. And
That's awesome.
man, I'm gonna tell you what, that's weird, dude. When you get that, when you look at a person, and without a shadow of a doubt,
Yeah.
we got to be related somehow. So I know how you guys felt. But,
Yeah, we had an immediate connection too, even before that. And I see Dutchy said, "I'm not sure Australia is opening its borders until," he said, 2013. I'm guessing 2023. Yeah, I just saw that the other day. They're talking at least middle 2022, if not later. So
yeah, they've had a spike recently, I think, haven't they?
I don't know. I just know that they're pretty tight to get in. But
Yeah, yeah. Hey, man, we'll talk about your channel a little bit more if you don't mind. Do you
sure.
do you watch? I know you watch everybody in the chat room probably, and most of
Try
all of
to.
us around. But have you got any big cooking channels or any other kind of channels you like to watch?
One of the reasons why I started my own talk show was to help the smaller guys out.
Yeah, me too.
And that's who I tend to concentrate on. And I'm one of those guys who watches the show from if it's your video, I'll watch it from the very beginning to the end.
Yeah.
And that's just who I am. I don't expect it from anybody else. I certainly, I had my video that came out yesterday. Within 2 minutes of it coming out, some guy goes, "Hey, those look great." I'm thinking, yeah, right. You watched the whole video.
Yeah,
The chicken
right,
wings, they don't even show them till the end.
Yeah.
It's a 12-minute video. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I like to concentrate on the little guys. I used to watch Sam the Cooking Guy a lot, and I got some of my original ideas from him, but I don't anymore. And like the bigger guys, CJ, and that anybody who's bigger. I don't, I'm certainly subscribed to them, but I prefer to watch the smaller guys because that's who I am. And in my opinion, that's nobody's my competition. We're in this together.
Yeah.
And that's why I give them the full view. It doesn't necessarily mean I will comment. I've never given. I take that back. I gave one thumbs down once, but and that was because of politics.
Yeah.
Lee's on. Hi, Lee.
Yeah.
It was a politically driven video that I just did not care for. I'm sorry. I don't even hear from that person. I don't even think they're doing their stuff, but everybody always gets a thumbs up for me, because this ain't easy. It's a second job that if you get paid, you don't get paid squat. I mean, 50 cents a day, seriously.
Yeah.
And I put 20 hours a week into this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you about that. How much time you put in a week on your channel? That's one of my questions. But
yeah, I do a lot of research. I spend a lot of time researching. If I do a video, they take hour and a half to film. But it's not like you're sitting in front, the grill with a spatula the entire time going, "Come on,
really.
hurry it up."
Yeah.
It's just you go back, you put it onto the grill, you go back and rewatch that part of the video, and if it looks like crap, you can hopefully go back and redo that part. If not, I'm not made of money. I'm not going to go and whip up another thing of mac and cheese just so I can get to that one part again.
Yeah, that's right.
It looks like crap. It looks like crap. I move on.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's time consuming. So I'd say 15 to 20 hours a week is what I put into it. When I was editing, it was probably more like 30.
Yeah. Yeah. In the kitchen with Karen's with us, so good to have Miss Karen, and Lana with Pinch of Cooking. Also, I didn't acknowledge her earlier, but she's going to be on with me sometime next month, I think.
Love that name. That's my mom's first name.
Karen or
Lana.
Yeah.
Lana.
Yeah, Lee with Smoking Bears with us, and so good to have everybody with us. You said something made me think about it too. You're talking about how much time you put in your channel. What's some of the most frustrating things you've run across doing YouTube?
This is going to kind of delve into, I know you sent me questions earlier. Frustrating things is you subscribe to somebody's channel out of sincerity and they don't reciprocate, right? Or that they subbed you and then that they no longer sub to you.
Yeah.
Because you go back and I forgot to sub to you, blah blah blah. What
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't born yesterday. I know that I have never unsubscribed a channel.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I watch everybody.
Yeah.
I just have never unsubbed. And I know YouTube goes in and cleans up a lot of things and that, and I know we're all busy, but that is very frustrating to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and you mentioned something earlier too. You gonna give me some coffee? You're all right, Teresa. Wow. You mentioned, yeah, that's right. You mentioned something earlier too, and we've touched on this on my show before. Talking about watching videos from start to finish. And it's hard when you're subscribed to a lot of channels, and a lot of people will take and speed up the video, which is fine. You still get the view for it, and you can still, if you don't speed it up too fast, you can still understand what they're saying, and it moves along. But when you watch them from start to finish, it really helps small guys like us, and watch time and view and everything. Thank you, baby. But that's something I like to try to do too. Is even if they're 35, 40-minute videos, I still try to watch them all. Now, sometimes here lately, with the work I do, it's been really hard for me to kind of stay on top of everything. And, of course, like I said, we thought we might have to reschedule tonight, but it worked out. So,
yeah,
certainly glad about that. But, yeah.
Dutchie hit it on the nail on the head. Steve from Dutchie.
Yeah.
That comment right there, when I see that on a video, is the first red flag for me. Everything. I always reply back, "Yep, you too," or "Stay connected as well."
Yeah, stay connected. That is a red flag. You're right. That's one way to spot it. I always say thanks, appreciate it, my friend. Have a great day.
Exactly.
I always acknowledge, because even though they may not subscribe to us, there is engagement by them commenting. So we have that. And that helps a little bit too.
Yep.
But yeah, it's frustrating.
There's that, and like when my outdoor pop-up awning fell, right? Yeah. I had a comment, and the person goes, "Oh, that is just a lovely recipe." And I replied back, "Serious? This is what I told." I said, "Seriously? Did you even watch the video?
Yeah.
There was no recipe in there. My awning fell down. But thanks for the view." That's what I told him.
Yeah. I had someone do me that way the other day too. I forget what video it was now. I don't even remember now. And they asked the question that I answered in the video. All right.
Yeah.
And so when they put the comment on there, that's the first thing I said. And really, I wasn't the first one that jumped on them either. Somebody else said, "You didn't even watch the video, did you, dude?"
Yeah, exactly. When there's a video on, I'm not like this, right? I'm not like, and I just stare at the thing. but I get the idea. I watch it, and I interact with it. And if I have a question, I always go back and try to make sure, wait a minute, did that person cover it? Because I don't want to seem stupid like that person.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I know that's strong language, but
Yeah.
I don't want to seem stupid in asking a question that's already been answered, because then I become a joke, right?
Yeah. You're right. Hey, tell us a little bit about your banner behind us there while I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, the Dude's Kitchen and Grill. It's
Cool.
This is what I love about it. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, but only on YouTube. I don't know. I screwed up on it. It was me, but I had this made last year, and I think that the same people who do the Sticker Mule, do it. I think, but I love it, and it used to sit behind me during my show outside. I just brought it in for this one. And but I'm on all three, but only on YouTube.
Yeah, I hear you. Billy's got a question here too. He says, has anyone set up a premiere and before it even airs you get a comment that says, oh, this is a really great cook?
I've yet to do a premiere.
I haven't either. I know Dutchie has, I think, and a couple others I forget now, but I've never done a premiere. Somebody kind of enlighten us there, if you will.
Premieres are supposed to, I know I've sat in on a couple Patrick's because I've been a part of the video, and it does tend to brings in more people.
Yeah.
For me, I'd have to drag him in. Mike, you're going to be on my premiere. You will be there. Billy, come on.
Yeah.
But it's things like that.
Well, now watch it. Yeah, Karen said it happened to her today. Now you have the chat during a premiere too, right? Where you can interact with the audience.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess basically to start out with, a premiere would just it would alert your subscribers, your notification mainly, and if they're in there in the chat room, it would up your engagement rate, I guess, to kind of boost the video at first. I guess is that the purpose of it?
That would be my guess, because the chances of the person actually watching the entire video are going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. My problem is I probably get 3 people. I don't know about you, my views are way off lately. Oh my gosh.
Well, summertime, people are out a lot too, and I think everybody may see a little bit of a decline, but
ever since I monetized my views, I went like this, and then I had Marcel on, and Marcel's the edit on the video just took off, right? And I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. And people were watching it.
Yeah.
And it put me over the mark. And so I get the email, and I'm like, this is great, I monetized, blah, blah, blah. And then my views just went, like, oh, wow. No.
Yeah. Yeah, you got, what, about 11? Let's see, what is it? If you don't mind, I'm going to show your channel here real quick.
Yeah.
And pop that up here if I can. Let's see. There we go. Let me pull me and you out of there. So it looks like you got about 1,370 or so.
Yep.
Subscribers. So that's pretty cool. You got
your
good looking banner.
And I love every one of them, but I definitely don't get 1,370 views per video.
Well, yeah, and some of the big gurus, YouTube gurus, somewhere along the line, I used to really listen to several different people, and I still do. But someone said, look, if you get 10% of what your subscriber count is on a video, so like you got 1,370, if you got 137 views, he said, you're right in the ballpark. So yeah. I've always looked at a 10% ratio, I guess. So
I'm not even hitting that on some of my videos these days, and it's just weird. Yeah. I don't know why.
We look at your about section here for just a minute, and I always like to do that and see what everybody's talking about. It says, let's face it, we all love to have family and friends over and sit around and visit. Cooking while being with family and friends is a perfect way To make sure everyone's having fun and engaged, we show you how everyday meals can be cooked outside, as well as how fun it is to cook outside and entertain. New episodes come out every Monday, and from time to time Thursdays, as well as a weekly talk show on Wednesday, where we talk cooking, SEO, ideas and more traffic, audience, and how to grow your channel. So you talk a little SEO, do you?
We were there for a while. Yeah, we did. That's a little outdated because it's Tuesdays and Fridays now.
Yeah.
And the show's been on hiatus. But yeah, we talked SEOs. Actually, one of the best guests I ever had on was Lee. And he presented a question, and it really got me thinking about it. And at that point, the show kind of took a change. And just in the way that I addressed, questions, etc.
Yeah.
Based upon that one question that he asked, and that's kind of where SEOs kind of came out of it. We would bring a guest like somebody like Jill from Yester Kitchen, get her talking about how do you drive traffic, how much is an SEO, that score you get on YouTube, how much does that matter, etc.
Yeah. Wow, we'll get back to that in a minute. You know what your top rated video or top viewed video is so far?
It's my daughter's, where she made apple cider.
Yeah, look at that. Easy apple cider. You can spike or not. I guarantee it. Then you got a bell pepper video there. It's doing pretty good. 3,600 views, 4 months old. So that's pretty cool. 10,000 is your most viewed. And I had a short. You talked about shorts earlier. We'll get on that a little bit. But I had a short did 26,000 views. It just blew up one day. Me and Teresa we were sitting eating breakfast, actually. She had a doctor's appointment or whatever, and we had time to run down and grab a bite of breakfast after they'd done some tests and everything. And I just kept looking at my phone. I had the YouTube app on there, and I'd refresh it every so often, and I'd just show it to her, and she'd just shake her head. She said, "That's just a stupid video. That's just a crazy video. And look at what people are doing. They're watching like crazy." I said, "I know it." It just kept, man, it went from 1,000 to 2,000 and 5,000 and 10. And I just kept showing her, and finally, it jumped up to like 26,000 people, and I couldn't believe it. But
I have yet to have a short take off. I think the most I have is like 150 views. But my Instagram, I had one that had almost 4,000 views, a reel. I think it was a reel.
Yeah. I ain't really figured out Instagram. I hadn't been on it long, and I forget now. Someone in here got me started to doing that. I forget exactly who it was now, but I thought I better start posting. I had Instagram and been signed up to it for years, but just never did anything with it. And I don't really fully understand it. And I'm the type of person, man, I'm just, I kind of go hog wild on certain things, so I got to be careful. I'm liable to get off out in the weeds, and I'm trying to narrow down, and just stay focused on YouTube right now. And Teresa said, you get so wide sometimes on things, you want to take it all in, and I do. So I've tried not to even figure Instagram out. I'll post a picture, or like our interviews, I always do that every Saturday or Sunday, and tell everybody who's going to be on. And because there's a lot of people that follow me on Instagram that I don't know that are even following me on YouTube. So I don't understand it really. I guess it's, can you explain the reels?
So I think reels are like 15 to 30 second videos. Instagram provides you with it's TikTok is all it is. Provides you with a basic audio that you can have, music audio, or you can pay, I think it's $1 or $2 a month to be able to pick their music. But it's a short is all it is. And my Instagram has grown. Every time I turn around, I got like 4 or 5 more subscribers or followers.
Yeah,
it's just like YouTube. You lose them too, but it's been great. My wife has been taking classes on it, Instagram, and so I kind of turned mine over to her in April for the month, and it just rocked. That's where that one video came out.
Yeah, that's cool. Dutchy said his best viewed video was 15,000, but it was the worst video he ever made.
Perfect. That's about how they go too.
Yeah, Lee said that was a fantastic chat you guys had. Still ponder on that question when coming up with video ideas.
I do too. That was a changer for me.
So, what was the technique?
Well, actually, it was a question, and he asked, "Do you know who your audience is?" And it really made me think, who is my audience?
Yeah,
And when you brought up earlier the about section, that statement that I wrote is about my audience.
yeah,
Those people that I want to appeal to.
yeah. You know, that's kind of your. I mean, we're in advertisement, whether you've realized that or not. People don't realize we're in advertisement. We're trying to sell ourselves in one way, shape, form, or fashion all the time, and that's kind of a way to express who we are and who we're trying to reach out to. That's why I always try to go and look at everybody's about section, because it's very important, that we have that filled out. We have our links in there where they can follow us in other places too, and certainly the email address. I think that's very important because a lot of people may email you instead of sending you a personal message. And of course, guys like me and you, we can get an email and we can send out, and try to solicit people to be on our channel and stuff. So certainly
Yeah.
good to have that. But yeah, it's important, I think, to fill that out and kind of because when you go to YouTube.com and it pulls up your homepage, or not your homepage, but it pulls up, the homepage for YouTube. When somebody clicks on that channel, it has a little brief description underneath it of part of your about section.
Correct.
So it they kind of get a preview of who you are and what you're about. So
Correct.
that's pretty cool. But yeah, tell me about them shorts, man. You said you didn't have any luck with them.
I just take my iPhone, and while I'm filming, I just make a short video while I'm doing it, and then I just create something out of it. The same short that I have on YouTube as one I use on Instagram, and I just went back to TikTok about a week and a half ago. So it's the exact same short across the way. And Instagram will get regularly 1,500 to 2,000 views.
Yeah.
TikTok, I only have 6 followers on TikTok, so I'm not going to get much.
That's
YouTube,
that's another thing that I've looked at it a couple times. I haven't subscribed to it or whatever you do to it, but that's something else I don't. I just can't get too far out in the weeds. I'll get sidetracked, and then I'm trying to niche down and focus down. But I just got to ask you too. How did you determine what your audience was other than just your about section? Is there another way that you realize who your audience is?
Yeah, it's funny you asked that. I went outside and looked at every piece of equipment I have, and it's the dude's kitchen and grill, right? It used to be just the dude's kitchen. But when I added the grill, I never really thought much about it other than, hey, I've got a cast iron grill here now. So I looked at every piece of equipment I had, and this is my preferred cook. Well, what are these things? These are all outdoors grilling. My pellet grill can be used. It's just basically an oven that smokes.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this. Who would like this? And sure enough, it's guys who go outside and want to cook outside, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so when I look at my statistics, the vast majority it's lopsided, and it kind of comes down to this mug too.
Yeah.
It's 75% male, 25% female. And then I look at the age bracket, and my age bracket, I'll be 54 in July. I don't get that many views. I'm getting the 25-year-olds and the 35-year-olds. They like what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm looking at these people going, these guys are just starting to get homes. Well, they were. Who can afford a home now?
Right.
But they're just starting to get homes, and they're settling down, and they want to cook outside and hang out and have a good time, and still want their friends to come over. And it was bingo. That's when and I think Lee kind of alluded to it as well in the chat. When I do a cook, that's the target audience, is that person. It doesn't matter if it's male or female, but that person is who I am trying to appeal to, who wants to be able to cook. And I've cooked cake on my smoker.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can do anything. Hell, I've done eggs and bacon on my old gas grill.
Yeah.
You can do it all. Pancakes.
Oh, yeah. So you're basically checking out your analytics and trying to figure out who your audience is, and by your most viewed video or your most recent 28 to 90 day videos or whatever, and also your audience, different people, the different, either male or female. Mine's about half and half, really. I have about probably 60-40 male to female, and of course,
well, you're better looking than me.
Yeah, well, no, I wouldn't go that far now. Like I said earlier, there's a couple faces only a mother love, But yeah, it's something to really monitor. You really need to do that. I'm constantly checking out my my videos at 28 day and 90 day. I definitely reach out 90 day, and you can determine who and what people are looking for. Not just your most recent video, but some that are at least 6 months or older. That really determines, in my view, the people that are constantly looking at them in 28 to 90 days, and they're older videos. That's what they're looking for. People are searching for that.
Correct.
And so,
what I found interesting is when I look at my YouTube statistics and my Instagram, they're almost identical.
Cool.
So for whatever reason, the younger crowd tend to like what I am offering.
Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah.
Great. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. And I didn't really elaborate on that earlier. I said I'm making some changes on my channels, and that's it. I think everybody needs to analyze their channel constantly and make changes, because there's certain things people are looking for, and that's what they're wanting. A lot of times we want to put out what we want to put out, and it may not. I mean, some videos, they just flop. If it wasn't for our subscribers being loyal,
Exactly.
and watching and commenting, it's like, what the heck, nobody
Most of
else.
my videos.
But I think if we reach out to that audience that is doing the search, and you can check that out by the search terms too, in your analytics of what people are actually searching for. Take and filter that for 90 days, and see what your strong keywords are or search terms, and double down on it. Make videos about it. Change up, whatever. Right. That's what I'm trying to do. Working on it, and so that's kind of our plan.
It's ever evolving. I just recently, this week, broke my camera. Thought it was secure on my tripod, let it go, boom, hit the ground, won't work. So I filmed a video, my first video, on my iPhone.
Yeah.
And I loved it, every bit of it. The control I had over everything. Matter of fact, I just bought some goodies, and they came right before we started this. And so I figured, well, I got the, I'm going to do it a new way. I'm going to do my video totally different, and I did, and it's the one that comes out on Tuesday. Totally different than any video I've ever done. Yeah. And we'll see if it works. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, well, I'll just keep plugging away.
Yeah. Billy
ever evolving.
Billy was asking too. He said, "What cameras and how many do you use?"
He's one. Here it is. This is it now. I'm not going to go buy a new camera. I mean, I have an iPhone 7 Plus.
Yeah.
And it's not the greatest, but you know what? It works for me. And I just bought some stuff for it. I don't know where it's at, but anyhow, I just bought some. I bought this for it, a little dongle thing, and then I have this, which is a screen, and that's what I would look at. It's just a little I think it's Fleet World, and so I was just trying to figure out how in the heck I can get my screen to show up on my Fleetwood, because I can. It's just easier to. This gives me more of a real view. Plus, it's got a plus in the middle right there, so I can line up exactly what I want as the center of that. So,
in your settings, and you may search for this in YouTube or whatever, and it may help. I don't know, but you can screencast. You can screencast from your phone to your TV. So I'm sure you could probably screencast from that phone to that monitor somehow. I don't know how to do that. I know how to do it from my phone to the TV. I do it all the time. Teresa and I do, but I'm sure you probably can there too. A couple people had to leave us. Some of our United Kingdom guys, Dutchy had to leave. Cooking with this guy, Stephen had to leave from Dublin, Ireland. So good to have you guys. Appreciate y'all being here. Y'all have a good night.
Have a good night, mates.
We'll be in touch. So let me see if I missed any more questions. Sorry, folks, we kind of got tied up in our conversation there, and I've missed some possible questions here.
I'm a jabberbox.
Me too, man. I love it. You know,
I don't even need to drink to jabber. It's just who I am.
Now, when we reach pickle status, now it'll be a whole different ballgame, you know. Lana says Google Trends is a really good tool too, and it is. You know, you can get some good ideas. I use my keyword research tool that I mainly use is MorningFame. Many of you guys know that. Many of you subscribe to MorningFame from my link in most of my videos. I don't get paid for it. I'm an affiliate, but I just get credit for someone signing up for a monthly subscription for myself. And it has, when you research further, like if you pull up a keyword or whatever, and it'll kind of give you a score, you can research a little further. There's a button on there, and what that does, that checks Google Trends, and it'll also check a couple other places and different things. So it's helpful. I really use that a lot.
I use TubeBuddy.
Yeah, I do too. I use them both.
Yeah, I had not Trends. I had MorningFame for a long time.
Yeah, he's really changing. He's constantly working on stuff. I've been trying to get him on. He's agreed to come on. It's just a matter of narrowing down and nailing down a time. But I'd like to get Nico on here because it's a great program. I mean, it's really helped me a lot. But I do use those together, TubeBuddy and MorningFame. Let's see. Wow, we're an hour into this, man. You able to stay with me a little bit longer, or you got to go?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, we ain't even touched any of these questions hardly. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can. I have the gift gab.
Yeah. What's New Barbecue says my biggest search tool is Google somehow, and you know that's one
Kenneth,
thing. Yeah, that's one thing I like about MorningFame too. When you do a search for a keyword, it also checks YouTube search bar, and it also checks Google search bar. And there's a couple check marks. One check mark means it's searchable. It's been searched in YouTube, and if there's two check marks, means it's searched in YouTube and on Google. So you know you're getting, a keyword it's being searched all over. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. Google is,
Very
the
powerful.
suggestion. Yeah. You do any kind of search, if you scroll down a little farther, it'll say other people are also searching for this, or whatever. And so those suggestions, man, are great, for video ideas.
The job I have, I'm a senior, I'm the top of the totem pole, and I had one of our guys the other day go, "Hey, how'd you figure that out?" One word, Google.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really need Google. My wife knows everything, so.
There you go.
I hope she can't hear me. It's funny. Just kidding, Teresa.
Yeah.
Oh, well, have you got any short-term and long-term goals for your channel, Mike?
I'm definitely going to continue on with it. Whether I get demonetized or whatever, I will definitely keep on with it. I have met, and the number one reason for me is I have met so many cool people on YouTube. I mean, hell, I met a cousin that I never even knew existed. Like yourself or Steven from Cooking with Steven and Jacqueline. Kenneth, Kenneth used to pop on my show every once in a while back in the day. Craig, I text Craig from time to time. I just love the camaraderie. Even just doing this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You are stupid, Mike. LOL. Well, okay. Well, the truth is finally out.
Yeah, that's just like like Billy and Lee. Lee texts me quite a bit, and Patrick does some, and of course now we've exchanged numbers, so
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be staying in touch for sure. But yeah, it's just man, it's just great, to bounce ideas off of people or just to find out, hey, how you doing? I just
Yeah.
hadn't seen you lately, and you doing okay, or it's just
Yeah.
you just develop a good relationship,
If I'd have
friendship.
known Teresa was in the hospital and I would have had your number, I would have texted you, Mike, how's she
Yeah,
doing?
yeah,
How's it
yeah,
going? I get texts from Carrie every once in a while. I sit back and think of these crazy ideas and and I had this really crazy, who's that Craig guy? I don't know. He's got dogs. Who knows? People with dogs. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. I have a Zoe moment on all
yeah,
my videos. But,
yeah.
I had this crazy idea and I presented it and, she's like, I want to be a part of it. And so she texts me about 2 weeks ago. Are you still going to do this idea? Yes, I am. Oh, please don't,
Man.
forget. I won't. It's just that camaraderie out there.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Oh,
my
cast iron Mike, not me.
yeah.
Thank you.
That's
I'm
my
just going to have to
buddy.
come through
Yeah,
there, come through this
yeah,
camera and
yeah,
just, get all Hulk
yeah,
on you.
yeah, yeah. Ain't no telling what he's talking about. Who knows? I can tell
That's the
you,
same thing
Rhonda
I
didn't.
think too.
Rhonda didn't tell him to say that. He.
When Billy
Let's.
talks, I always scratch my head and go, "What?"
Yeah,
It's
I
just
know
somebody
it.
typing away on a keyboard over there.
Yeah.
What is Billy like 5?
Yeah, when Rhonda's around, he walks a tight ship, tightrope. No doubt about it. So, oh, wow. Hey, what's one of the hardest videos you ever made?
Hardest video? Oh boy, that's a tough one. Got to be the first one.
Yeah.
That we walked in, had an idea, but didn't have a clue what we were doing, and because it came down to doing the editing, actually did a side video at the same time, and I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I had just bought my editing software and the Adobe Premiere. I didn't have a clue what to do with it. But even just getting the camera angles down and make sure I had a piece of crap and I just saw it the other day, believe it or not. It's like, I haven't seen this thing forever. A mic.
Yeah.
And I have a Rode mic now, a shotgun, and it's awesome. But that other thing is a shotgun, but it's a piece of garbage. And, it was so hard. And just taking it to the next level, too, of actually releasing the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to step up your game a little bit with audio. I think that's the one thing. That's been the two things that I've bought, to kind of help our deal a little bit. I got a Yeti mic I use here on interviews and everything. I love it, that Blue Yeti. And then
I have a Yeti also for my interviews.
Oh, do you really? Cool. I mean, they're great, man. I love
Yeah.
it. And I use Rode also, but I've got the Rode Go, the wireless Go. I don't have the shotgun mic like you're talking about. I have the wireless. I can plug it into my phone, and then I have the transceiver on. Usually my overalls. I'm usually wearing overalls when I do a video, but they're great, man. I mean, you can walk like if I'm out on the fire pit cooking or whatever. You can walk a good distance, and it'll still pick it up.
Nice.
So, love it.
Yeah, since I went to this, I have my shotgun. I have the connector for it on the dongle that I bought,
Yeah.
but I'm a little worried that it's not going to work the way I
Yeah.
want it to. So I probably have to look at another piece of equipment, but
Yeah.
it's only money, right?
Yeah. I think Miss Margaret had to leave us too. She's
All right, Margaret.
yeah, great chat, guys. It's late here in the UK, and my rum nightcap is empty, so it must be bedtime. So appreciate
I
you
like
being
her.
here, Miss Margaret.
I like her a lot.
Yeah,
Rum.
yeah. Marcel, little fish in the kitchen. So
Marcel,
good to have you with us. No
we were
doubt
talking about
it.
you earlier.
Yeah, we were. Hey, you mentioned something too that kind of stuck out to me. The Adobe Premiere. Tell me a little bit about that.
I think it's like any other software editing. It just costs a little more, and it's supposedly what a lot of the big boys use. And You know, I just download I make a file, download it onto my laptop, and just start moving things over.
Is it
You know,
is it pretty user friendly?
it is, but there's just a lot of odds and ends that you just kind of learn over time. Like I didn't have a clue how to make something, you know, that like on my latest video that says this kid is hilarious, you know, that pops up and then kind of fades away. I didn't have a clue how to do that when I first started, and I didn't know that you could adjust audio and lighting. I mean, this is stuff I've learned in the last year how to do, and I don't use it as much as I used to, obviously, because Patrick does my videos, but I you learn from it, right? You live and learn.
Yeah.
You know, you watch some of those older videos and you're just like I've been doing a series lately because I'm under remodel, that I just take an older video, go in and clean it up, like my grandson one that I just had, and put it out there, right? And that's exactly what I did. And I put it on my Premiere, cleaned up the audio, definitely cleaned up the lighting on it, and added a couple things. And you can, you know, blow in, you know, where my face is like here, then you can make my ugly mug like be the whole screen.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just things you learn. But it's a bit expensive. I can do almost everything on my iPhone, believe it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Jamie Mack says, "What's your top 5 cooking tools?" Top 5.
My hands, my eyes. You know, I guess define tools. I'm gonna.
Man, I'm going to say one of my questions I usually ask is, you know, what's something that your favorite that you like to cook on, whether it be, you know, a skillet, a stove, a grill, gas grill, charcoal, you know, Blackstone, whatever.
I have a Cuisinart 360 22-inch griddle, and I got one of my first subscribers in Vice, and one of the first channels I subscribed to was Ken Rogers, Mostly Outdoors. Great guy, love him to death. And he won a Cuisinart 360 griddle around Christmas time a few years ago, and I thought, I've got to have one. And so I bought it, and I love that thing. I can cook anything from ribs, eggs, bacon. I've done steak on it, you name it. Since the remodel, it's been pushed off the corner, but when my bar/kitchen area is done, I want to have it built in, because it's the shiz, man. Love that thing. Weber kettle. I mean, you can't go wrong with a Weber kettle. If I was on an island somewhere and could have one piece of cooking equipment, be that Weber kettle. Cook anything on it. And I've done it. I have a Patrick. Patrick has a hammer.
Yeah, he likes a hammer.
And a saw for pineapples.
Yeah.
It goes great on his pizza.
Yeah.
Let's see. I just bought Scott from Dr. Taste Good Barbecue turned me onto this Only Fire Santa Maria style grill. Love that thing.
Yeah, those are cool looking, man.
Yeah, I loved it when I did the over the toss with the steak and it landed on it. You know, it's just a cool thing to use, and it's got a rotisserie. I have a Z grill. I got drunk one night and went to Amazon and decided I was going to buy a something different. Yeah, Pit Boss. And when it arrived, I was thinking, man, I got this great deal, you know. And when it arrived, I looked at it and went, whoa, wait a minute, this is Z Grill. This isn't a Pit Boss.
Yeah.
So
pro tip, folks, here in the house, be sure and don't get drunk and go to Amazon looking around for cooking stuff, all right?
I've done it twice. So I decided I was going to buy another Pit Boss and return this one. So once again, not too much rum.
Yeah.
And I bought a Pit Boss, but it's a gas smoker. I use it for an oven now. So, it's always that red one that you used to see in the back of my videos. I make cookies in it all day long. It's great. But, you know, I love them all.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'd say my old gas grill, I called it Old Gassy. It's up there with the Cuisinart. I love that thing, but my son has it now.
Have you got an air fryer?
Yeah.
I know you do, because you did those wings the other day.
Yeah. That's the only time I've ever used it on. No, I take that back. I did TGI Fridays style green beans with it once. It's great. I love it. Just don't use it much, because it requires being inside versus I want to be outside.
Pete Thomas is in the house with us from Great Britain, so I don't think
Oh,
Pete
Pete.
ever sleeps, man. He's on all times, all hours of day and night. I can get up at 4 o'clock in the morning over here, and Pete will be on, and we'll get to chatting back, or not chatting, but commenting back and on videos and different things. But good to have you, Pete.
That's great.
So, but what did I miss here? I don't. Vegemite. Oh Lord, here they go. They're going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, the downside to an air fryer is using Vegemite on it.
yeah, that wouldn't be no good, would it?
Hmm. No. I like Vegemite, actually. I was very surprised
Yeah,
when I tried it, but I don't, it stinks like crazy.
yeah. Patty says we need to do an air fry collab. Yeah,
With Vegemite?
yeah. Well, you might not know the deal there. We got hassled there for a while because Teresa didn't have an air fryer, and
Oh,
oh man, everybody was picking on me. So they still do. I can't shake that, man. It's a stigma, I guess. But Stephanie with wait a minute, I missed the wrong one. Stephanie with Ginger Snap Kitchens with us. So good to have Stephanie. And but yeah, I don't know about doing a collab for air fryer. I haven't used mine a whole lot. I mean, I just started kind of frying a few things. I fried some. They're really not fish sticks. They're little small pieces of fish and breaded fish, and took to work the other day. It was pretty good. I like it.
yeah. I just don't use it much.
Yeah. I mean, I even make toast in mine at times. You're
Really?
talking about, yeah, you're talking about your Blackstone or whatever, your 360 or whatever. I've got the Lodge griddle, reversible griddle that fits over a gas
Oh, yeah.
two burner.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm sure you could do it on electric stovetop too, but the gas, I mean, it works perfect. Man, I cook on that dude every day now. I mean, I use that and my 12-inch cast iron skillet. Those I use constantly. And but that griddle, man, I love that. And I mean, sometimes I'll make toast on it, but here lately, since we got those air fryers, I've been making toast in it while I'm cooking my eggs and different things, you know.
There you go.
So, what's one of your favorite things that you like to cook?
I like to cook. Oh, steak. I love cooking steak, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
There's just something about a good steak.
yeah,
And hot wings. I am a hot wing fan.
yeah.
Yeah. And Patrick calls me, we're
Yeah,
slackers
I know
again.
both of us. You know, we're two slackers.
Man.
So I
It's
mean,
the
you know,
name, right?
I know, man. That's gonna stick with us now, isn't it? You know.
That's what I love to cook. I love steak. I like chicken. It's not my favorite. I like pork chops, but it's not my favorite. You give me a steak or chicken wings, I'll be your best friend for
Yeah.
the entire time it takes to cook and eat it. And then I'll walk away from you.
What's your favorite cut of steak to cook?
Oh, ribeye, hands
Ribeye.
down. I
Yeah,
love ribeyes.
yeah. Fattier the better for me.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Yep.
it. Sure enough. What's your favorite seasoning or whatever to that you
Uncle
like to use?
Steve's.
Uncle Steve's.
Uncle Steve's, man. I could use his stuff on everything. And if I don't have the right Uncle Steve's for it, then it's just SPG.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's hard to beat salt, pepper, and garlic, isn't it?
It is, yeah. One of the things that you're talking about pet peeves earlier, kind of, is people just over season stuff.
Yeah,
It's like people who you go to a restaurant, you want any A1 steak sauce? Well, does your
yeah,
steak suck that bad that I have to put steak sauce on it?
yeah. Really.
you know,
Yeah,
so why are you going to dump a half an inch layer of seasoning on your steak or chicken or whatever when it's great by
yeah,
itself?
yeah. Hey, Billy. Actually, this must be Rhonda. I don't think Billy could come up with that, but I think somebody got that right. He said, "I don't think I have an air fryer." He believes Mrs. Cast Iron has too. So that's true, no doubt. But what was one of the hardest things you had to cook and tried to film?
Hardest thing, believe it or not, and it's one of my more popular ones too. It's actually the first video that I ever cooked that took off, and it was hamburger steak and gravy. And for
Mm,
whatever reason, it was a challenge the entire time. Of course, you don't see that in the video, and But from the intro to just cooking the whole thing was a serious challenge. And looking back, I just kind of laugh at it. It was no big deal, right? But at the time, I just could not get things right.
Yeah.
I was leaving stuff inside. I continuously had to go back and forth, and whatever reason, it was hard, but it came out great.
Yeah. Hey, Jamie Mack's got to leave us, so good to see
Jamie
you,
Mack.
Jamie. Take care, buddy. Appreciate
He's got a
you.
good show too.
Yeah, he does.
He
I
does.
had him on a couple weeks ago, or last week, I guess it was. Last weekend, wasn't it?
Last week, yeah.
Yeah, so he's really a cool guy. I like him. You guys, if you've not been over to Mike's channel, be sure and go check out the Dude's Kitchen and Grill and check out his videos. Leave him a comment and give him a thumbs up on his videos. If you're not yet subscribed, be sure and hit the subscribe button, and I'm certain he'll appreciate that. Likewise, on this video, if you're not hit the thumbs up yet, I wish you guys would go down and just slap that thumbs up button for us and show us a little love there. We appreciate that for sure. But what's your favorite, Mikey? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Yep.
I know you can handle Mikey. I'm a Mikey, so
Oh, yeah.
everybody calls you Mikey. You know?
Mikey loves everything. Was it like or love? I'm going to say Mike. Yes.
Yeah, either one, all the above.
All of them, man.
Just don't call me late for supper, right?
Bingo.
I guarantee it. Yeah, I hear you, man. Are you a coffee drinker?
Oh yeah, black.
Yeah. Black. Yeah. Yeah, me too, man. I love that. How about ice cream? You like ice cream?
Cookie dough and French vanilla.
Cookie dough and French vanilla.
Yep. Birthday cake's pretty good too, but
Yeah.
if it comes down to two flavors, I'd probably grab one of each.
Yeah. Yeah, I got two flavors I like to put together too, but I'm not going to share that with everybody. They seem to know, but hey, I will too, man. I'll share that with you. It's black walnut. Have you ever heard of black walnut ice cream?
I have, and you were talking about it not too long ago too, I believe. Man. Somebody was. Yeah, I've had it.
Wow, it's awesome. You could take a bowl of that and put that on top of your head, Mike, and your tongue, and slap your brains out trying to get to it. It's so good. Can you believe that?
You would be busier than a one-legged man at a butt kicking contest when it came to eating that stuff, right?
I guarantee you, man. No doubt about it. All right, let's do a little trivia here, I guess. Hamburgers or hot dogs? Which one do you prefer?
Yep.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
Both at the same
hamburger.
time.
Yeah, I could do both at the same time. Matter of fact, I should probably do a video and call it like a colon clogger or something like that, and do like hamburgers and hot dogs just on the same thing.
Yeah, I guarantee it. No doubt about it. Everybody says cheeseburger. I need to change that in my questions here, I guess. Hamburger or cheeseburger? French fries, onion rings, or tater tots?
Once again, yep.
Yeah. Those French fries you made the other day, man.
They were awesome. Good Lord. You know the problem I have with onion rings, though? It's kind of like fish and chips. Some people just love to over batter those things, right? Fish and chips, you come out and you get something that's like that thick and that big and a little tiny piece of strip of fish in the middle, right? And you're like, what's the point? And half the time it's not even fried all the way and it's kind of gooey inside, But fish and chips, if done right, boom, it's the best. Same with onion rings. If they're done right, boom, the best. But that's just me.
Eric popped in here. He said, just showed up. My first reaction was separated at birth. I don't know what is he talking about me and you or what? I don't know.
Agreed.
Yeah, we'll agree. No doubt about it. That's just a Mikey
We'll agree
thing.
to agree. We'll agree to agree.
He's cool. I wouldn't mind interviewing him sometime. He's very knowledgeable on cast iron, man. I'm not joking. Appreciate his show. I watch a lot of his stuff, but sure enough, I might have to send him an email, see if he'll come on sometime. We can pick his brain. No doubt about it. Yeah.
There you go. And I'll come behind and scoop up the refuse and have them on right after you.
There you go, man. That's what we need to do. Just
chew them up and spit them out. I get what's left over.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh wow! What was what? Since we're talking about Eric and Cast Iron Chaos, what was the most interesting thing you've ever cooked in cast iron?
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
I've done it. Yeah, I go to Alaska about every other year, and my brother works for Fish and Game, and his boss has a little some property on a little island up there called Little Raspberry. It's up by Kodiak,
Yeah.
and we caught a boatload of halibut one time, and all they have is cast iron there, right? And put a little oil in there, and take some batter, and all their version of batter. So you go to this Safeway and you buy a boatload of food because you've gone there for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
So you just bread it and throw it in some flour or whatever you got and throw it in there. And I know people are like, that's kind of boring, but I don't know. There's just something about being outside and no cell phone and no light, and you're just sitting around a fire having a beer and just BSing and cooking away.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your earliest recollection of cooking? Who taught you to cook? Your mom or your grandmother, or did you just learn it on your own, or how'd you come up with that?
My stepdad is an amazing cook. And I remember the first time I remember cooking, I was probably about 5.5, 6 years old. And it was at my grandparents' house. And my grandma's still alive. She still has the Weber kettle from way back when. And I remember my stepdad doing burgers and hot dogs on it.
Yeah. Wow. Cool. What was one of the first things you ever started cooking?
Oh, eggs and bacon. Yeah, it's maybe pancakes. Start watching your brother and sister. And I had a friend years ago. We lived in Pullman, Washington. His name was Eric Ashby. He died in a tragic hit and run. But I remember, we were probably 7 or 8 years old and making grilled cheese. I remember that. That was probably, other than the eggs, bacon, and that, doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something else, man. It's funny, Tricia. I don't know if we even really need to talk about that, but I will since I've opened it up. But we were talking about how many people, that we've run around with or hung around with or whatever that's not with us anymore, man. It's crazy.
You got to grab every moment. And as you get older, you realize this too.
Yeah.
Every day's a blessing. Every breath's a blessing. And life's too short to work till you're 62 years old. So
yeah.
I don't want to.
I don't either, really. Oh, that's funny right there. Hey, when you was a kid now, what was one of the things that you didn't like that you find yourself eating now?
Broccoli. I still will not eat it on a train, on a plane, with a fork or a dork. No, broccoli. I can eat it raw, but I do not. The smell gags me to this day. And then rice. When I was a kid, I had an Irish setter who loved rice, but I didn't. He loved Brussels sprouts and rice, and I like Brussels sprouts now too, but I would say broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and rice. I can eat them all, except for broccoli with limitations.
Well, do you like Chinese food?
Love it.
And you don't eat broccoli with it?
Nope. I kind of fiddle around and
Really?
get my fork or things, and off it goes.
Yeah. Eric says happens to us as we all get older. And Billy Joe says it seems like only the good die young.
I would agree. I have a theory. The more pure you are, or the more perfect you are, the younger you are when you pass away. So I'll probably be 120, 130 before I'm gone.
I hear you, man. It just blows my mind, that I've made it 57 years now. It just blows. I never thought I'd ever make it this far, but anyway. Stephanie's got to run. She said, I need to get back to work. I'm going to keep watching on my TV, but I'll be out of the chat. It was nice to see all you beautiful people. Certainly appreciate you, Stephanie. You take care.
Bye, Stephanie.
Yeah, she's good. We had her on here. She does some great recipes. She doesn't show herself, but we got her on video here. If you ever want to see her, go back through one of my interviews and you can see Stephanie. I say that all the time just to pick on her, but somebody's got to, right? So anyway.
I just want to say that theory that I said is, in all honesty, I wasn't kidding. That is my theory, that the more pure or the more perfect you are, unfortunately, the younger you are.
Yeah. Pete says I'm as pure as a contaminated thing. So
Yeah, there's another 2 century kind of person right there.
oh man, you guys are too deep for me, man. I don't know if I can stay with you on that. But hey, what kind of weird food combination do you like? You got anything you like to just throw together? It's like, wow, this is a munchie deal here. I got the munchies, and you just start throwing something together.
Oh, that's a good question. I eat pretty much anything, right? Uh, I honestly can't answer that, Mike, because I'm willing to just take something and, like cheese and fries and cheese,
Yeah.
or throw some pulled pork on it. Why not? My cholesterol level, I get it tested here in a week. I'm kind of worried. But it's like somebody said, they make pills for that. So
Yeah. Hey, you was talking about fries earlier. Have you ever eaten fries with gravy on it? Brown gravy?
oh
Or
yeah,
cream gravy? You
heck
like that?
yeah.
Yeah. Do you make homemade fries?
No, yeah, I've got sometimes.
Yeah.
Usually though, I just go to the store and pick them up and throw them on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like to make them homemade myself. I've got a video about that, folks. If you hadn't seen that, go check that out. Shameless plug, right?
Poutine, yeah, poutine's another one. There you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
good shameless plug.
Yeah, no
I
doubt
made
about it.
zucchini fries, guys, about 2 years ago. Check that video out.
Yeah. Hey, you said something earlier, and I wanted to get back to, and I'm glad you said that. You mentioned something about revamping some of your videos and everything. I don't know if Lee's still in here or not, but Lee had texted me one time and asked me about changing thumbnails and different things. But if you're revamping them, have you noticed any change, or have you noticed any new view count? Seems like now that you're kind of revamping, I guess, thumbnail, and are you?
Yeah, you
What
do
all
both.
are you doing?
So I'll take a video. Let's take the one where I did the chicken wings with my grandson, and it was done in November of 2019, and it was kind of dark out, windy, and I just went in and cleaned up some of the audio as best I could, and also cleaned up the lighting on it. Some of the other videos have gone a little bit more extensive. Like I will go and you can zoom in on a product, right, or whatever you're making. So I'll do that on some of my other videos. This one I didn't, just because my grandson, I think, is just so funny through the whole thing. It's just like never ending. This kid just talks and talks like his grandpa, right? And everything out of his mouth is just damn near funny. If not, it is. So that's what I'm doing, is just taking these older videos and it just getting me over the hump while I'm waiting for my patio to get put in place so I can do 2 videos a week.
So you're just taking the video file and you're re-uploading it. You're editing
Yep.
it and changing it, and you're re-uploading that, or you're deleting the old file, or you're keeping that.
Still there, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just download it from YouTube, go in, clean it up, and take out some spots that to me just seems like a waste of time. Like that video originally was, I think, 13 minutes long, and I cut it down to, I don't know, I think it's 12 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a matter of cleaning it up to me, and just taking out the garbage that at the time seemed really cool, but the more you learn, the more you're just like, nope, I don't like it.
Now, are you doing all that through Adobe Premiere Pro, or are you doing OBS or whatever for the audio, or what?
Premiere Pro, all of it's through Premiere Pro.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm a firm believer you probably ought to keep some of your keep all of your older videos, and that way it kind of shows your progression, as you're hopefully getting better. I mean, guys like me and you, we don't get a whole lot better.
No, we're like a fine wine. Just get better with age, baby. I look at some of my first videos. There's one I wanted to revamp, and I downloaded it and started watching it. And through the whole thing, I'm just like this. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Seriously, did I just really do that? Or, you cringe when you watch these things.
Yeah.
When I was doing it originally, I'd be like, and now I'm going to put some chicken on the grill, and we're going to add some ketchup and that. And now it's like, all right, now we're going to take some chicken, we're going to throw it on the grill, we're going to add that ketchup to it, and I just, my latest video, I noticed that I kind of, for just a brief moment, I go, fine china. I used to do that all the time, just kind of just a little thing, right? So okay, here's the fine china. And the second I watched that video, I picked up on it and went, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. It drives me nuts.
Eric said, I said to my wife, I'm like fine wine, I improve with age. So she locked me in the cellar. Rodney Dangerfield.
Rodney Dangerfield,
yeah.
Yep.
That dude was a trip, wasn't he?
He was.
No
Big
doubt
trip.
about it. Hey, you said I said something about pet peeves earlier. I think we were talking about YouTube pet peeves, but have you got any pet peeves in life, just in general?
Stupid people.
You don't have to go far to find them either, do you? It seems
No.
like stupidity's gone to seed, I mean,
Yeah. We last night, my wife, aside from the day jobs, a photographer, and I'm her backup. We shot an 8-hour video or a 8-hour wedding yesterday, and it's a blast. We had so much fun. We decided we're going to stop in at one of our local little fast food places. It's like 9:30 at night. Grab a bite, and I'm sitting there waiting to turn, right? And here comes this car down the road, and they're kind of putt. But I thought, I'm just going to wait for him. And then he just turns into the same place I'm at. No blinker, nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, why? I mean, I waited here for you, and it's drove me nuts.
I know that aggravates me too, man. Of course, being a driver, you see some crazy stuff. Of course, I don't run the road anymore. I used to for years and owned several trucks and everything, but I run coast to coast, and you'd see nothing surprises me, man, anymore. But I just work locally now and everything. So, but you still see some crazy things.
I always think that I used to. I was a receiving clerk, and I remember talking to one of our drivers once. And he goes, "One of the things that pisses me off the most is I'm driving down the road and a car just passes me and whips in right in front of me.
Yeah,
because I don't stop on a dime.
Yeah."
And I thought, I still to this day, when I pass a truck, I always give them plenty of latitude, before I whip in. But you see it all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's always been a thing. But years ago when we, some of us older guys, I guess you could say, back when trucking was fun, it used to be a lot of fun. It's not anymore, but. We always had to watch out for drunk drivers, usually on Thursday or Friday or Saturday, even Sunday night. Those 4 nights, you really had to watch for drunk drivers at night. But when the cell phones come out, dude, you got to watch people 24/7 now because,
exactly.
I mean, they'll just fade over the center line at you and never even look up or check up. And it's dangerous, man.
It is.
It's crazy. But, we used to always have to, or I did anyway, I'd shut down a lot of times on Halloween and some of the other holidays, because there's just crazy people out. Full moon's crazy too. I mean,
exactly.
It's crazy. But anyway. Well, man, let me ask you a couple more questions and we'll wind this thing down. I don't want to keep you too long. I appreciate you being here as long as you have. I can't believe
it's Mike.
An hour and a half.
It's all good. But, I'm having a blast, man.
Yeah. I know you got to be into music, man.
Oh, heck yeah.
What's your favorite band?
Chicago.
Really?
Old Chicago, though. Old.
Yeah?
It's got to be the old hippie stuff.
Yeah. Michael McDonald. Maybe further back than that. Well,
Michael wasn't he with the Dubes? He was with the Doobies,
He was with the Doobies, but he was with Chicago, too. Peter Cetera,
Yeah, but it wasn't him. He wasn't in there. There was Terry Kath was the guitar player.
Yeah.
And he died in 1978. Yeah. Cetera, Seraphin was the drummer, Robert Lamb was keyboard, and then the 3 horns.
Yeah.
That was it. He did do a song with them, though. He did one song with them. I know off of Chicago 26. I used to be a major Chicago drunkie. I will Google it. I will Google it.
You know that's one band I've seen tons of bands, man. Check this out here. I don't know if you can see this or not.
Billy Squire,
Uh,
nice.
Teresa
I saw
made,
Billy Squire years ago
Teresa
too.
made me a blanket out of all my concert T-shirts. I'll have to show that sometime. But Chicago's one band I never seen, and that's one that I always wanted to go see and just never did. But
They're still touring. They still
yeah.
sound great. They still have 3 original members. You know, they just keep on keeping on.
Yeah. I seen Michael McDonald with the Doobie Brothers years ago, and then I seen him by himself one time. Coleman cooking and grilling with Coleman.
Chilling and grilling.
Yeah, chilling and grilling with Coleman.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't
Great guy.
get that right. But yeah, I've had him on here. But he's doing. He's down at Memphis in May, and he has been doing a few videos about what's going on down there. But anyway, I seen Michael McDonald at Memphis in May one year, and it was pretty awesome. But I had seen him with Doobie Brothers before too. So
Dubes are one of my favorites. They're top 5.
yeah, Skinner's my favorite band. Always was. I mean, I cried when the plane crashed. Man, it was just heartbreaking. But
There was a video, a country song video. I'm sure there was video with it too, but a country song with the Van Zant brothers several years ago that was really good. But I don't remember what it was. To me, I love the old kind of I love a buzz on a guitar.
yeah.
And if I had to, believe it or not,
I used to love a buzz anywhere. It didn't matter if it, you know.
But just
that's
that
a horse of
sound
a
that
different
comes out
color,
of it,
you know?
right? Yeah, exactly.
That's for another video, you know.
Yeah. I love the wah wah sound. It's acid rock. I love acid rock. Don't get me wrong. I still listen to Chicago, but I'm not a big fan of their '80s stuff when they really mellowed out. So,
Billy said he figured you'd be a deadhead.
you know, I haven't really listened much to the Dead. Jerry Garcia was a good guitar player, you know, and that, but no, it's not a Deadhead. CCR, I love CCR.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Wendy's popped in with us. She said, "Glad everybody's still here." Yeah, we're still here for a little while. I don't know how much longer we're going to be, but I think me and Mike could sit and talk all night long from the sounds of it. But oh yeah, no doubt. What was one of the best concerts you ever went to?
Believe it or not, it was Journey. I saw Journey in '86, and they had Clarence. Oh, who's the saxophone player? The black guy. Great saxophone player. Clarence Clemens. Is that his name?
I never did see Journey. That's one band I didn't.
He was. He was with him, and it was just a great concert. Very memorable. Heart would be another one. I saw Heart. You know, probably the worst concert. Probably the worst concert was I got drugged to Michael Bolton once. Yeah. And my wife.
Hey, I can hear in the background. Hey, wait a minute, that's my guy right there. Oh, Eric says, "What did the Deadhead say when he ran out of pot?" Wait a minute, that's music sucks. Yeah, no doubt. Big Lou's popped in with us. Good to see you, Lou.
Oh, Big Lou. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, me either. We just kind of having a blast here, Lou. Good to see you, man. So I wasn't going to ask that, but I got to, man. Besides that, what was your worst concert or worst experience maybe at a concert?
I would 2009, 2010, my wife and I went and saw Sammy Hagar. And actually, it was both. Probably one of the better ones and worst one. Went and saw him in Tahoe, and there was a guy behind us who was fried out of his mind. And he just started kind of collapsing. And he collapsed into my wife, and he collapsed into me and the person next to me. And he was just flailing. And he goes on the ground, and then all of a sudden, these guys just started beating the living hell out of him. Mm-hmm. And then he just disappeared. He was gone. I'm like, wow. But that very next day, we got introduced to Sammy Hagar's son, who ran it. Looks just like him, but just a younger version. So I have a picture somewhere, I think, on Facebook with him. Nice guy.
Yeah. My oldest brother, of course, I said earlier, I'm the baby of the family, and I'm out of an old family. Matter of fact, we range of 21 years in range. My oldest
Wow.
brother's 21 years older than me, and then it stair steps all the way down. But anyway, his second wife, she just recently passed away about a year ago. But anyway, she went to high school with Sammy Hagar.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
she said he'd been rocking I mean, she had told me at the time, years
I
ago
could
that
believe that.
he'd been rocking all through school and everything. But
I could definitely believe that.
yeah,
And he looks great too
yeah,
for being
yeah,
his age. I'm not sure if that's plastic surgery or what. Maybe it's good genes. I don't know. But he
yeah.
looks great.
Yeah, I remember. Of course, I always loved Van Halen too. But even before Sammy was called in to sing with him, I seen Van Halen in 1984. And matter of fact, they had an album called 1984,
Hmm.
and that was the worst concert I ever seen in my life. I was so pissed off, I guess I can say that, but I was so aggravated. You spend that kind of money. David Lee Roth was so drunk he couldn't even sing. He couldn't hardly even stand up on the stage. Of course, Eddie and his brother, they were doing, and Michael Anthony playing the bass. They were doing a great job, but man, David Lee Roth, he was just so out of it. It was just aggravating. And then they had this great big screen in the background behind the drum set, and they were trying to pull this screen across. It had the VH in it, and had 1984 on it, and it got hung up. Of course, that wasn't their fault. That was, the
Yeah.
guys there on stage at I don't even remember where I seen them, Memphis or Dallas, I forget now, but that was so aggravating. So, but what was one of the best lighting shows you ever seen?
Lighting. I'm going to go back to Journey. They had
Mm.
this purple light. I don't know if it's because maybe at the time I was drunk or stoned or both or just dumb. I don't know. But
All the above, I imagine. If you was like me,
yeah,
probably all the
yeah.
above.
I just for whatever reason it just stands out to me. The minute you said that that purple light coming across the stage, and but then again I think a heart too.
Yeah.
And when they did Dog and Butterfly, it was just the two girls out there, and I just remember that they were just lit up and they were beautiful. You know.
Hmm. Yeah. I seen the Stones a couple times. They put on a real good show. Ted Nugent was probably the loudest I've ever seen or been to, and I've seen Nugent 5 times. But I think one of the better concerts, I guess, if you really want to, Rush was awesome. I don't know. Let me see
Oh,
if.
but they would have been great.
Oh yeah, I stood up nearly the whole time watching Neil Peart play the drums, but I play a little bit, not a lot anymore. But I
I
guess
played
one of.
bass.
Do you really? Oh
Hmm.
man, we could thump around, rub some
There you go.
skins, and yeah,
There you go. There's a video on Facebook of me doing "Peaceful Easy Feeling" by the Eagles.
yeah. Seen the Eagles once too, but um, what was I going to say? Oh, one of the best shows I think I ever seen was Styx in Kansas.
Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah, Styx is pretty amazing. I mean, it was so theatrical. I mean, it was just it wasn't a Grand Illusion tour. What was that? I forget now. I just drew a blank, man. I had to Google that. What was the last concert you went to?
Chicago in
Right.
Jackpot, Nevada, 4 years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, you could go right. I felt bad for the guys who bought these tickets that were just right below the stage because they couldn't have seen anybody. They had it all roped off, but people just went right through it and
Yeah.
just stood right in front of the crowd. I mean, they don't draw the crowds they used to,
Yeah.
but I mean, they was still they were loud, they were sharp. I
I might
remember
have to.
yelling.
I'm
I
sorry.
remember yelling at the. I saw the guitar player right before the concert. And I go, "Hey, Keith!" And he
Yeah.
turned around and went like this to me, and I was like, "That's cool."
Yeah. I need to make that a bucket list deal, man. I've told Teresa before that, Chicago's one band I never seen that I always wanted to, and I'd like to see that. That's just something I need to put on a bucket list, I guess.
There you go.
Wow, we got out in the weeds there on that, didn't we?
All right. It's pretty common with me.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I can get sidetracked real quick, but you get to talking music, that's I love that. But what was the craziest thing you ever seen at a concert?
Probably that guy getting the hell beat out of him at Sammy Hagar's concert. I mean, that guy got beat.
Yeah.
And he was, I felt bad for that guy. He was bloodied. You could tell. And he was screaming and yelling. And then he just like disappeared. He was gone. Like, oh, where'd the guy go?
Yeah, I seen a guy one time at a Ted Nugent concert get slapped upside the head by a square fifth of Jack Daniels, man. Yeah, it was wild.
Wow.
Nugent stopped playing for a while and said, y'all gonna have to settle down or we're out of here. And it was crazy back in those days. 70s, mid to late 70s, early 80s it was a whole lot different. I mean, it was. I went also seen the Rolling Stones in New Orleans at the Superdome. It was 81, maybe 82? I forget. Set a new world indoor record for most people in an indoor concert. And,
wow.
I mean, you see anything from grandmas and grandpas down to grandchildren, you know. I mean, there was just a wide range of people there.
That's the way Chicago is anymore. Yeah. Now it's great grandparents, you know?
Yeah.
Great grandparents, grandparents, kids.
Me and Teresa and her two brothers and their wives, we all went to see, it was Styx and REO Speedwagon together. And then Don Felder played with the Eagles. He was a warm-up, and he played several Eagles songs. But we went a couple of years before COVID happened and everything. We went to we just all went out, you know, for the weekend, all of us old folks and everything. We got out of the car, man, and you could see people walking around with strollers and walkers and canes and wheelchairs and everything. I got to laughing. I said, man, this has got to be the Geritol and Pepto-Bismol tour, you know?
That's perfect name for it, right? My first concert I went to was REO Speedwagon, and Cheap Trick opened for them, right?
Yeah.
And they made Bunny Carlos was the drummer of Cheap Trick, and he'd lived in Boise at one time, and they made a comment about it. Well, years later, I'm living in Portland, Oregon, and I win tickets to see Cheap Trick and backstage passes. So I went back there, and here's this guy in the corner. It's Bunny Carlos, and nobody even recognizes. It's like a bass player, right? Nobody recognizes a bass player. It's all lead singer and guitar player, right? So he's in the back there, and I walk up to him. I go, hey, did you live in Boise? He goes, yeah, I used to. And I go, I did too. And he goes, hey man, I remember you. And I'm like, oh, good Lord. I just turned around and walked away.
Yeah, I seen Cheap Trick one time. They're pretty awesome band, man. Really, actually, pretty good. No doubt about it. Hey, let's get back to food for a minute here.
Yeah.
Chili. You like chili? With beans or without beans?
Either way, man. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
I prefer it without, and I'm sure my wife prefers it without beans also, but yeah, I'll do it either way.
Pizza?
Yeah.
You make it on cast iron?
I have, actually, yes. I have, and I've been meaning to do a video on it, and I just have never gotten around to it, but I have my big cast iron pan. I've done pizza in it before.
Yeah. Is it all right to put pineapple on pizza?
Hell yeah.
That's a controversial thing here sometimes.
It is.
It is. Man. Yeah. Eric says food. What's that? No doubt. We could talk music all night long, man. I actually had a few more questions, but we'll pass on. It's getting a little bit late, so I don't want to hold you too long. But anyway, what's your favorite way to spend the day off? I know you're working from home now, but when you didn't, what was your favorite way to spend a day off?
On the couch, sleeping. Lately it's during the wintertime, it was kind of like, okay, here's another day, right? Yeah. And I have a routine where I go see my dad on the weekends, and I come home and I grocery shop, and then I go and I'm always practicing cooking, right? I'm wanting to do a tostado video on my smoker. And so when this is done, that's what I'm going to do is do a run through it before I film it. Yeah. So that's a lot of what I do is experiment with foods.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool. Hey, what's one thing that nobody knows about you or would not believe? You got anything unique that you want to share with us?
I have 6 toes. No, I'm kidding.
It
Kidding.
wouldn't surprise me.
What? Um,
Since we've both been labeled slackers, you know.
exactly.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, hey, what? Nothing will
Uh,
surprise you, right?
okay. Well, I got one for you. I'm actually a hard worker.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Yeah. So, what you say you do? Photography? Is that right?
yeah. So my day job, and same with my wife, is we support point of sale and payments. Debit, credit cards, etc., for retail independent grocery stores. That's the day job. The second job is photography, and the third job would be YouTube.
Yeah.
The photography obviously makes a heck of a lot more than the YouTube, but yeah, it's a good gig. We make a good couple. I'm her second shooter plus tech guy, and always off doing something. And we had a wedding yesterday. We've got one this Saturday. I think we've got 2 more, and then we take July and August off because it's just too hot. Seriously, people getting married in July and August, no bueno. It's too hot.
Yeah. What on POS on point of sale? What do you do? What's that about?
It's a troubleshooting software, troubleshooting hardware and software.
Oh, okay.
More along the lines of software, but my heart lies in hardware. I prefer hardware over software, but software seems to be where it's at. People always want.
Yeah.
There's always a need for it. Everybody has to eat, and there's always going to be a need for.
Yeah.
Let's face it, checks have gone away. Nobody really. I have a checkbook up here. I had to write a check for my patio, and I got to look at my first check I wrote in. It was 2006 at our old house.
Yeah.
That tells you how many checks a person writes. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, people still do, but it's
Yeah.
all debit credit anymore.
Pretty
I don't
much,
use a
yeah.
debit card. I just have credit cards. I don't like debit cards,
Yeah.
and I see too much. Once a person has your PIN number and they get a hold of your card, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Pete's got to run. He's over in Great Britain. He's got to run. It says 2
Right,
o'clock
Pete?
over there. So we know he does sleep a little bit, I guess now.
Yeah.
So, but
Checkbook, what's that? Exactly. Check.
yeah. Yeah. Vacations. What was the best place you ever went?
Oh, Kodiak, Alaska.
Really?
I could go there every year. I go about every other year because my brother lives up there. But like I said earlier, he's with Fish and Game. But there's just something about he's actually that guy. And every once in a while, you used to see him on TV, those fishing shows that said you can fish between here and here from 9 a.m. to noon. That he's one of those guys, and he does fish counting. And based upon the count of the fish that go over the weir boxes depends upon how long or how many fish you can catch.
Yeah.
And in the fall, he's like right now is his busy time of year up until the 1st of October, and then he's dead. So I always go up on Alaska Day, which for them is an extra holiday that the state gets. And so he'll take like a 3-day weekend for it, and I don't have to put him out too much.
Yeah. Wow. Buddy of mine from hometown, Mike Baker's popped in. Good to see you, Mike. We're going to have him on sometime next month. So,
Hey, Mike?
good to have you. Well, I'm going to ask you a few more. We're going to call it here. What's one of your favorite holidays and why?
St. Patty's Day.
Really?
Green beer. Come on.
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo's number 2. Green margaritas.
Yeah, there you go. No doubt. Did you make a Cinco de Mayo video?
I did not.
You did.
Actually, our first video we ever filmed was shot at a Mexican restaurant. And unfortunately, I've only been able to find a brief snippet of that. But I love margaritas. And that's what the guy made. A friend of mine owns a Mexican restaurant just down the road. So he made a margarita for us. And I go in and I always get the Cadillac. And, half the time it's free, believe it or not. He just gives them to me. And so I always leave a big tip.
Oh
You
yeah,
know.
definitely. See what I'm getting here, Mike? I mean, it's not my fault, Teresa. Mike's just an interesting guy. So,
No,
so,
I try. What did he say in Vietnam? I know Nixon. He tr- he he lugs a trainload of beef behind him that would fertilize the Sinai. Well,
yeah,
that's me too.
there you go. Wow, that's funny right there. Hey, what
No,
are you
I'm
mo?
not.
No, you're not.
I'm
You
not
sure?
related. I'm not related.
Okay. Yeah, she thinks we are, I guess. So, what are you most grateful for, man?
Life.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of people might think otherwise, but I am a Christian and I believe, and I'm very thankful for that, and for my choice, and I'm thankful that I live here and not other places. And I'm very thankful about a lot of things, you know, and it took me a long time to realize that. I think that kind of goes back to the perfect people versus the imperfect. And it took me a long time to realize what I'm thankful for. And I'm thankful for about a lot, but life is a gift. And I think that you should enjoy it as much as you can and not worry about what others think, you
Yeah.
know, because we're all going to make mistakes.
Yeah, that's good.
And we're all going to screw up, but
Mm,
it's what you do with those mistakes and those screw ups that matter.
yeah.
And I'm the biggest screw up there is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You have any regrets on anything?
no, I don't, because I learned from them. I've done a lot of stupid stuff, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But and at time, you know, back in the day, it was like, oh man, I regret doing that, but I don't anymore. I couldn't even tell you what half those old regrets would be. Uh, I learned from them and I moved on.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we can apply that to our YouTube channels too.
Oh, exactly.
You know, have fun. Don't worry about what other people think. You know, hit that
Yep.
record button and just record it. You know, your vibe's going to attract your tribe anyway, so just do it. You know, there's going
Just do
to
it.
be people that like you, and there's going to be people that don't like you. So what?
Yep.
So we move on. We truck on, you know, and that's the
Yep.
way life is too. I'm the same today, yesterday, and tomorrow. You know, I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to treat you the same today, tomorrow, or whatever. You know, and I think, you know, I think that comes with age a little bit.
I agree.
Some of those things, you know, we used to
Yeah.
worry about too much. You know, we used to try to impress too many people or whatever. Maybe I don't know, but
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. Well, all right. I got a couple more here for you, and we're done. Uh, if you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends and family assume you had done?
You know, funny you mention that. So, um, I used to like to antagonize my neighbors because were not nice people. They were not. I have new neighbors now, but
I can't imagine, man.
so I took. We used to have a fire pit in the middle of our backyard, and I bought a couple of bags of Fritos and just potato chips, just the cheapest stuff I could find, and I lit them on fire, and I just sat there and waved it. Have you ever smelled a burning potato chip or a Frito? They stink, and I'm sitting there waving it at it, right? And my sister's like, "Man, I'm surprised you didn't get arrested for that." And I go, "It's funny you say that because cops came to my front door." So,
Yeah,
but I'm out there waving this stuff at towards their house
yeah,
with a piece of cardboard. Boy, it
yeah.
stunk so bad.
That's funny. Ian Good popped in. He's supposed to be with me next Sunday night. Matter of fact, I need to get all my stuff together and get it sent to him. I guess so. Good to have you with us, Ian.
Ian,
Yeah. Hey, if you was to win the lottery, man, what would you do with some of the money?
I'll tell you right now, Mike. It's been nice knowing you. Take care, buddy.
I'm off to Alaska,
I'm
right?
off to. Actually, I would probably be in the Caribbean. So,
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
what would I do? I'd make sure that all my kids are set.
Yeah.
To a degree, right? School hard. Maybe make a trust fund or something that they
Yeah.
can dip into it a little bit. But I'll be honest with you, I'd probably be just the same person I've always been. I inherited a bunch of money back in '05, and I don't think it really changed me that much.
Yeah.
I bought a new truck,
Yeah.
and that's really all I did. When my grandmother passed away, I bought a new truck, and I just, dabbled a little bit in the stock market and realized that I'm an idiot when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would change with that. I guess it depends on how much. I know a guy who won 187 million in the lottery, and he lives in a gated community now. But you would, if you ran into him on the street, you'd never know that he won the lottery.
Yeah.
So, but then again, I went to high school with a gal who won 80 million, and it totally changed her life. And at the last reunion, she had bodyguards.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I went to school with Sheryl Crow, and she's like that too in a lot of ways. She's always got a bodyguard. I guess they have to, I mean, there's some crazy freaking people in this world, and but yeah, you see her when she comes home. You see her at a restaurant or whatever. They'll have her in a private room or have bodyguards around or whatever. I don't want to live like that, man.
I don't either. Yeah.
I just soon everybody come up. Hey, man, how you doing? What's going on? Sam Walton, that started Walmart. He was that way. Yeah,
very humble man.
Oh yeah,
same with Joe Albertsons.
Oh yeah, he wore flannel shirts all the time. Drove an old Chevy pickup, and they
never
said,
guess it.
Yeah, never guess it. That's the way I'd want to be too. But all right, man, we're going to wind down here, folks. If you've not yet been to Mike's channel, be sure and go over and check him out. Check out his videos, leave him a comment, leave him a thumbs up. Be sure and subscribe if you have not. Be sure and hit us a thumbs up on this video if you don't mind. We'd appreciate that. But Mike, is there anything that you'd like to say to the people in the chat room tonight, or your subscribers, or both, before we go?
To my subscribers, thank you so much. I am very humbled that you let me into your life. And to the people here, thanks for putting up with Mike for so long. And me, of course. I appreciate it. No, you guys are great. Thank you so much. Very humbled that everybody showed up and let us chat and visit.
Yeah, no doubt. How can people follow you, or what's the best way to keep up with you?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. No, YouTube, but only on YouTube.
Only on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
I just started TikTok. It's all under the Dude's Kitchen and Grill. So
good deal. Well, Mike, you've been a lot of fun. We certainly appreciate you being here with us, and we're going to call it a night, folks. We appreciate everybody in the chat room. Appreciate you staying with us, and certainly appreciate everybody leaving their comments or whatever. And we're going to have Ian Good on next week, and so if you're able to make it, we'd certainly appreciate you being here. We always look forward to that. We love you guys. We're going to call it, and y'all take care. It's Mike and Mike from Dude's Kitchen. We'll see you guys later. Take care. Have a good night.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.